stupid girl! Hurry up with that clothes you are washing. You need to fill up the 5 drums at the backyard and hurry to the market. If you're tired of doing chores, go and join your dead mother in the grave. Promise me, Rayo, you will take care of my child. Treat her as your own. Never let any harm come to her. Never separate her from your unborn child. Let them grow as sisters. Yes, I will, I promise. So please stay strong for me. Kemi, please hold on
As
for me.
soon as those words left Kemi's lips,
Kemi, no,
she passed
Kemi.
away. For 20 years, Rayo broke the promise she made to her dying sister. Instead of raising Halima and Zina as equal sisters, she treated Halima like a servant in her own home.
Why are you cooking rice? You know Zina does not eat rice, or are you trying to kill her? Cook something else.
Even though Halima wore basic clothes and walked in the hot sun every day, she grew up to be the most beautiful girl in the village. She had a light milk-toned skin with long natural hair and bright blue eyes. This only made Auntie Rayo and Zina hate her even more.
We need to stop sending her to the market. Every time she leaves and comes back, she returns with a gift. Why are all the villagers obsessed with her blue eyes? Have they never seen blue color before?
Zina had everything. She wore the best clothes, used sweet perfumes, and received all of her mother's attention, but she was still deeply jealous. Zina knew that money could not buy Halima's natural beauty. Most importantly, money could not buy Halima's singing voice. Halima's voice was so sweet that people said it could make birds stop flying just to listen. Whenever Auntie Rayo and Zina left for the market, Halima would go to the next neighboring village to sing for the old women and children. To keep Halima hidden and punish her, Auntie Rayo made her do the hardest chores at the worst times. One fateful night, she handed Halima a heavy bucket.
Take this bucket and go to the village stream and fetch me water. I will be leaving for my women's meeting by 6 a.m. and I do not want to be late.
Auntie Rayo did not know that this midnight punishment would change everything. She walked down the forest path exhausted. She had spent the entire day cooking and washing clothes, but her wicked aunt was not yet satisfied. When Halima finally reached the stream, she felt at peace. Away from her aunt's yelling, she was free. She put her bucket down, closed her blue eyes, and started to sing.
You will find your way someday soon. I know you will, my fate will change. Halima soon.
Her voice was pure and beautiful, echoing through the quiet night as she fetched the water into the bucket. At that exact time, Prince Femi was taking a late-night walk with his guard. When the prince heard the song, he stopped walking. Drawn to the voice, he pushed through the bushes and went to the edge of the stream. There, under the moonlight, he saw Halima. He noticed her light skin and blue eyes just as she finished singing. But then, the prince accidentally stepped on a branch. The loud snap scared Halima. She dropped her bucket and ran back into the dark forest without looking back, thinking it was a wild animal. Prince Femi rushed out and picked up the bucket she left behind.
Guard! Run after her! I need to know who that is. Whoever she is, she must sing at my coronation. She must be my queen. Yes, my prince.
Halima ran all the way home, completely unaware that one of the king's guards had secretly followed her right back to Auntie Rayo's compound.
You stupid girl. Where is the bucket and the water I asked you to fetch, Halima?
I'm sorry, I dropped it. I thought a wild animal was coming. I will go find it tomorrow.
Halima went back to her room and drifted asleep, not knowing that back at the palace someone was restless.
My prince, I found where she lives. Really, gather all the gifts and the royal guards. Tell everyone in the palace that I have found my queen. As early as tomorrow we leave to fetch her.
The next morning, the sound of drums and chatter filled the village path. Word passed quickly from one compound to another that the prince himself was coming, with his royal guards behind him, carrying gifts wrapped in fine cloth. Villagers gathered by their doorways and along the road, whispering among themselves, each family wondering if their daughter was the one who had caught the prince's eye. Before that, Halima had left the house back to the stream to look for her bucket. By the time the commotion reached Auntie Rayo's compound, a small crowd had followed behind, eager to see who the prince had come for. Auntie Rayo, hearing the noise outside, quickly arranged her dress and rushed outside, putting on her sweetest smile.
Your Highness, what an honor. What brings you to my humble home?
Last night I heard a voice by the stream, the most beautiful voice I have ever heard. A voice meant for a queen. When I went to see who it was, she ran before I could see her clearly. She left only this bucket behind. My guard followed her path and it led him here. Bring her to me.
Auntie Rayo stared at the familiar wooden bucket, remembering she gave it to Halima the night before. Her wicked mind raced as she realizes what was happening. She knows she can never let her niece become a queen. She instantly pretended to be shocked with a smile.
Ah, Your Highness, that must have been my daughter, Zina. She often fetches water from that stream at night to clear her head and enjoy the breezy night.
May I see her, please?
Yes, Your Highness. Let me go and call her.
Auntie Rayo turned and hurried into the house, leaving the prince and his guards standing in the compound. Inside, she found Zina lounging in her room, completely unaware of what was happening outside.
Zina, the prince is outside. He is looking for the girl who was singing by the stream last night. He thinks it was you. What? Me? But Mama, I wasn't at the stream last night. Shh, I know that. Halima is not here. She left before the guards arrived. This is our chance, Zina. This is your chance. All you have to do is walk out there and let him believe it was you.
Zina hesitated only for a moment before a slow smile spread across her face.
Okay, Mama, I will do it. Now let's go meet the prince.
When the prince saw Zina, he froze. Something felt off. Although he didn't clearly see the face of the girl the previous night, he knew she had a lighter skin tone and her eyes were blue.
Why is your skin tone different?
The prince asked with a confused tone. But before Zina could speak up, Auntie Rayo cut in.
It was probably the moonlight, my prince. This is her real complexion.
How about her blue eyes? I saw that when she was singing under the moonlight.
Haha, my prince, it was contact lenses. Her real eyes are brown, not blue. This is really her.
Prince Femi looked at Zina for a second, then he hugged her.
I finally found you. It is you, my queen. In 3 market days, I will be crowned king, and as my future queen, you must stand by my side and sing that beautiful song for the entire kingdom. It will be the greatest coronation this land has ever seen.
Zina couldn't believe her ears. She forced a nervous smile and nodded quickly, knowing fully well she didn't have the voice. She can't even sing to save her own life.
I would be honored, my prince.
Prince and his royal guards finally departed, leaving the wrapped gifts behind. News of the prince's chosen bride spread through the village faster than harmattan wind. By evening, everyone knew that the prince had found his queen at Auntie Rayo's compound, and soon the whole village was talking about how blessed that family was. While everyone else was celebrating outside, inside Auntie Rayo's house, chaos was going on.
Mama, what have you done? You know I cannot sing. When he hears my real voice in front of the whole kingdom, he will know we lied. He will banish us. Calm down, foolish girl. We have 3 days. I am not about to let all these royal gifts and a crown slip through our fingers. I will fix this, don't worry.
That night, Halima returned without the bucket, completely unaware of the prince's visit. She walked into the compound, expecting yelling and scolding from her Auntie Rayo and Zina, but they completely ignored her presence. Late that night, under the cover of darkness, after Zina and Halima had gone to bed, Auntie Rayo took a heavy bag of cowries to a fearsome herbalist at the edge of the village. The herbalist sat by a small fire, his face half hidden in the shadows, as if he knew she was coming.
Auntie Rayo, it has been a long time. What brings you here?
Yes, Baba, I need your help. The prince has chosen my daughter to be his queen, but there is a problem. He expects her to sing at the coronation in 3 days, and she cannot sing because the voice he actually fell in love with belongs to my stupid niece Halima, and I can never allow her become queen while my daughter fades away in this village.
The herbalist studied Auntie Rayo for a long moment, then shook his head slowly and brings out his palm to accept the gift she brought.
A voice like that cannot be created from nothing. It must come from somewhere real. Somewhere it already lives.
What do you mean?
Bring me something that belongs to the one who truly owns the voice. Bring me a piece of her hair. Without it, I cannot help your daughter.
Auntie Rayo returned to the silent compound that night and crept into Halima's room. Halima was fast asleep on her bed, exhausted from washing clothes and plates. With a sharp blade, Auntie Rayo carefully sliced off a piece of Halima's natural hair and disappeared into the dark. By morning, she was back at the herbalist's hut. He took the hair from them without a word, dropped it into a small clay pot already bubbling over the fire, and began to mix in roots, powders, and something dark that she couldn't recognize. Auntie Rayo sat beside him, waiting in silence as the smoke thickened and the chanting grew louder until finally it stopped.
This will give her the voice she needs. Once she opens her mouth to sing, she will sound exactly like Halima. She will sing lyrics she can't explain. But listen to me carefully, because if you break this rule, everything will fall apart. The prince must never look into Halima's eyes, not once, not for a moment. Keep her far away from the palace, because if their eyes meet before the coronation ends, the charm will break and your daughter will be disgraced.
Auntie Rayo smiled wickedly and took the bracelet from the Baba's hand.
Do not worry. Once I give her all the house chores in this world, she won't have the strength to even go anywhere. Talk more of the palace.
Preparations for the royal wedding began immediately. Auntie Rayo broke the wedding news to Halima.
Listen to me, Halima. Zina will be marrying the prince in 2 days' time, and I want you to treat her like a queen. Make sure you do everything she asks, and if possible, lick the ground she walks on. Do you understand? Okay, Auntie Rayo.
Halima wondered. How did Zina and the prince meet? When did the love story start? But Halima did not know that she was the one the prince was looking for, and she was the one meant to be queen. Auntie Rayo slipped the bracelet into Zina's hand with a strict warning.
Zina, listen to me carefully, my child, and don't ask questions. Never take this off for any reason. Wear this and sing confidently at the coronation. Once the prince is crowned king and you become his queen, then you can take this off. But Mama, how will this old piece of jewelry make me a talented singer like Halima? Please, I am scared. I do not want the prince to find out about our wicked plan. Trust me, my child, it will work.
A day to the wedding, Auntie Rayo sent Halima to the market to get more items for the wedding preparation. Halima went to the market, not knowing she was about to make a discovery. As Halima walked through the busy stalls, a group of market women called out to her with excitement.
Halima, we heard the great news. The prince is marrying your cousin Zina. She is so lucky. I never knew the singing talent runs in the family. What do you mean? Didn't you hear? The prince said he heard her singing 6 nights ago at the forest, and her voice made him fall in love instantly. And you know she forgot a bucket he left behind. That was how his guards traced her back to your house.
Halima froze like a bucket of iced water was dropped all over her body. Her mind raced back to that night. The sound she heard in the bushes, the heavy footsteps she had mistaken for a wild animal, running for her life and leaving the wooden buckets behind at the stream. Halima knew perfectly well that Zina could not sing to save her own life.
It was the prince. He was the one in the forest that night, and he heard me singing.
She abandoned her errands and rushed straight home, her heart pounding in her chest.
Auntie, why did you lie to the prince? The market women just told me how the prince met Zina. You know I was the one at the stream that night. I was the one who forgot the bucket. That was my voice.
The room went silent for a moment before Zina and Auntie Rayo burst into loud, mocking laughter, covering their mouth with their hands. Auntie Rayo stood up slowly, her eyes glaring with pure wickedness.
You? You, Halima, marrying the prince? Look at yourself. A nobody, an orphan with no father, no mother, nothing to your name, raised only by my mercy. You think the palace will bring shame on this kingdom by crowning a peasant girl like you as queen? Foolish girl, get out of my sight and get back to work.
That's not fair, Auntie. It was my voice.
Enough! If I hear this nonsense from your mouth again, to anybody, I will throw you out of this compound with nothing on your back. Do you understand me? Now get out of my sight.
Halima ran to her room without another word, holding her chest tight with grief and sobbing uncontrollably.
Mommy, why did you leave me? Why, Mama, why? Why did you leave me, Mama?
The morning of the royal coronation arrived. and the loud sound of festive drums echoed throughout the entire village. Inside the compound, Zina was dressed in heavy, expensive royal silk. Auntie Rayo proudly adjusted the bracelet the juju priest gave her on Zina's wrist.
Today is the day, my queen. Remember the Baba's warning. Do not take off the bracelet for any reason. Let us go.
Halima had woken up before dawn. By the time her aunt and cousin were fully dressed, she had already swept the entire compound, washed the dishes, and filled the water drums so she would be able to go to the palace and watch Zina's performance. When Auntie Rayo walked out and saw that Halima had finished all her chores, her face twisted in annoyance. She went to the kitchen, brought out a large bag of rice and a basin of beans, and poured them all together onto the dusty floor, mixing them thoroughly.
Since you have so much energy, you will sit right here and separate every single grain of rice from the beans. If I return and you are not done, you will see my true colors.
Auntie Rayo and Zina walked out, shutting the heavy wooden gate and locking it. Halima started the chores, but her mind couldn't rest. She knew Zina could not sing. She really wanted to see the magic they planned on performing. So she abandoned the chores and climbed over the fence and ran straight to the palace. The palace courtyard was packed tightly with cheering villagers, chiefs, and royal guards. Halima managed to squeeze her way into the middle of the crowd, hiding behind taller people just in time to see Prince Femi sitting on his magnificent throne with Zina standing right beside him.
My people, the time has come, today being my coronation. As I step into this new stage, you all know a king cannot serve without his queen. This is Zina. She possesses the most beautiful voice I have ever heard, a voice meant for a queen. Today she will perform for all of us, so you all will see how talented your future queen is.
Zina smiled confidently. She closed her eyes and opened her mouth. Instantly, a flawless, angelic voice filled the air. In the crowd, Halima gasped, covering her mouth with both hands in pure shock. That wasn't Zina's voice. It was hers. She listened to the melodies and the lyrics. It was the exact same song she sang at the stream. As the beautiful song echoed through the courtyard, Prince Femi stood completely amazed. He looked around the crowd, watching the villagers admire Zina. And then, his eyes landed on someone in the second row. Prince Femi stopped. His eyes locked directly onto Halima's eyes in the crowd. For a split second, time stood completely still. Zina continued singing, not noticing the bracelet changing colors and the juju power fading away. She kept singing, her mother standing beside her watching with a victorious smile across her face. All of a sudden, instead of Halima's angelic voice, a horrible, deafening croak came out of Zina's mouth. It sounded like a dying frog. The music stopped abruptly. The villagers flinched in shock, covering their ears. The royal chiefs gasped in absolute horror. Zina froze. She cleared her throat to sing another verse, but an even worse tone came out from her mouth. Auntie Rayo's screams of terror echoed through the palace. The dark charm the juju gave her was broken. With all the chaos happening, the prince couldn't take his eyes off Halima. He slowly walked down the steps of the throne, ignoring Zina's pathetic crying. The crowd parted like the Red Sea as he walked straight up to Halima, who was still standing in shock.
That face, you look like... Hold on. Those blue eyes, the skin. You are the girl I saw by the stream, the one who ran away.
Halima nodded without saying a word. Auntie Rayo pushed the royal guards and rushing forward, throwing herself at the prince's feet.
My prince, do not listen to her. She is a witch. She used her evil eye to destroy my daughter's beautiful voice. She is just a jealous, wicked orphan.
Enough, woman!
Prince Femi shouted and raised his hands in annoyance. He looked back gently at Halima.
If you are truly the one from the stream, sing for me.
The entire palace went dead silent. Everyone's eyes were on Halima. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and opened her mouth. Instantly, her true, flawless, angelic voice filled the courtyard. She sang the exact song she had sung at the stream that night, her melody sweeping over the crowd like a cool breeze. The villagers gasped. It was undeniable. She was the true owner of the voice. Prince Femi smiled, a look of pure relief washing over his face. He gently took Halima's hand, walked past the shaking, disgraced Auntie Rayo kneeling on the floor. Zina, scared of being banished, fell to her knees and started pleading.
I'm sorry, my mother forced me. She gave me this bracelet to wear, saying it would make me sound exactly like Halima. Please, Your Highness, forgive me. Forgive us.
Prince Femi stared at Zina, kneeling and sobbing her eyes out.
I will spare you not because I am too merciful, but only because you are the relatives of the future queen of this kingdom. But know this, my people. From today, they will no longer be seen as part of us. They will be an outsider. Traders should not be seen communicating with them. Market women should not be seen selling to them, or else the consequences would be severe.
Prince Femi raised his hand, signaling the royal guards to drag them out. As the guards roughly dragged Auntie Rayo and Zina out of the courtyard in total humiliation, the villagers booed and threw dirt at them. Prince Femi turned to Halima, his eyes full of warmth and admiration. He gently embraced her. The oldest and most respected royal chief stepped forward with the sacred staff and the heavy gold crowns.
My people, today the gods have exposed the wicked and brought the truth into the light. We do not just celebrate a marriage today, we celebrate the dawn of a new era. I present to you King Femi, ruler of our great kingdom.
The palace erupted in cheers. The royal chief picked up the beautiful crown of the queen, and he placed it carefully on Halima's head. The cheers grew even louder, echoing far beyond the palace walls. The poor, mistreated orphan girl, who had been locked in a compound just hours ago, was now standing tall as the queen of the entire kingdom.